Hi friends, it's Miss Catherine. We're back for another peanut lesson. Happy New Year! Time is flying by. We are together now for a third lesson, and today's lesson is all about physical education. So remember when we had our first lesson together, we talked all about the peanut program and what peanut stands for. So you can see that right in the side here. Physical education and nutrition is what peanut stands for. So we, again, are focusing just on the PE part of that word today. We're going to be talking all about fun activities and fun games or sports games that we play to get our wiggles out and keep our body moving. So stay tuned for that. But first, I want to do a little bit of a review. So we're going to chat and catch up and talk about what we did during our first lesson and our second lesson together. All right, going back in time, let's see. I want to talk about lesson 1. So lesson 1 was really important. We talked about washing our hands, different ways to protect ourselves and fight off those germs and yucky bacteria. We want to make sure that we stay healthy, right? So during our first lesson, we talked about how to wash our hands, and we talked about when to wash our hands. So we talked about making sure that we wash our hands, scrub under our nails, get our wrists nice and soapy and sudsy, and we want to do this for how many seconds? Not 10, not 15. I hear 20. If you're shouting 20, you are right. 20 seconds we want to wash our hands for. You got it. So, in addition to the conversation about how long we should wash our hands, we talked about when. So we said after we use the restroom. What else did we say? Before we eat, right? Any kind of food. Before we eat, we always want to wash our hands. What was another time? Can we think about it? Do you have one? Let's see, what's another example? What about when you get home from somewhere? When you get off your school bus? Or when you come home from playing outside or on the playground or riding your bike? We always want to come inside and get the yucky germs and dirt off of our hands. So those are 3 really important times that you might wash your hands. Remember, there are a lot more, so if you're thinking of something different, you're probably right too. All right, moving along here, lesson 2. Who remembers what we talked about from lesson 2? Can you remember? I'll give you a hint. It was really colorful. We talked about yummy different foods. We talked about the 5 food groups on my plate. Who remembers the 5 food groups on my plate? We have fruits, vegetables, grains, dairy, protein, the Fat 5, you got it. We talked about yummy snacks and foods that we might eat that would go on the My Plate throughout the day. So, really important. We actually even had a chance to play a couple activities and do different movements for our favorite fruits or vegetables, depending on what color they were. I remember at the end of lesson 2, we talked about sharing our favorite fruits and vegetables with our family and friends so that we can all try to eat yummy, tasty treats that are still healthy with everyone that we love and care about. So were you able to share your favorite fruits and vegetables? I had some blueberries as a snack after our lesson together, and I shared it with my sister. She actually has never had a blueberry before, and she tried it, and she was like, I think I like this. They're really small and they're really yummy. So keep trying to teach others and share with friends your favorite fruits and vegetables. Maybe they'll try something too that they've never had before. All right, so moving on to our third lesson together today. As I mentioned, it's all about the PE part of Peanut. So we're going to be talking about physical education. It might sound a little tricky, but I always tell my friends, think about gym class. I'm sure you know gym class from school, and When we usually go to gym class, it's a chance for us to run around and play with friends and do different activities with different types of equipment sometimes. So that's what we're going to be talking about today. Some examples that I can think of that would be considered physical activity or an exercise is walking my dog every single day after work. Another example would be riding my bike with friends around the neighborhood. It's kind of chilly right now, but I think that's still a great activity if we bundle up and jump on our bike to get those wiggles out. One last activity I can think about is playing a sport, like soccer. I used to always play soccer growing up, and it's a really important and special sport to me. So a piece of equipment that you might need for soccer is a soccer ball. Some activities require equipment, some don't. And that's the nice thing about physical education. You don't even really need much. It's just a great way to get your wiggles out. Before we move on to the next slide, I want to talk about why. Why is it important to exercise? Can you think about why it's important? I know we talked about gym class and getting our body moving and grooving, but why is that so important? One reason why I think it's really important is because it makes me happy. Sometimes when I'm feeling a little sluggish and I'm watching TV or I'm on an electronic, sometimes I think, you know what, I gotta get up and move in. And it's really important to move. So I'll get out and I'll get my body moving and it makes me feel better. Does anybody else think that? Sometimes when we move, it makes us feel better. And, of course, it's fun. We could do it by ourselves if we just want to hang alone. We could do it with siblings or parents or an adult at home, or we could do it with a friend. There's so many things that we can do, and it's a good time. One more thing, too, is I've noticed that it makes me sleep a little better. Sometimes when I get really, really energetic and I move around, I find myself getting kind of tired. Am I the only one? And then when I get tired, I sleep. And the rest is so much better when I get all that energy out of my system. So it's really, really important to find an activity that you love because I promise it'll feel good. I know sometimes when it's really, really cold out, we don't want to go out because it gets so chilly. We want to make sure that we're staying warm. So sometimes we're stuck inside. But there's so many fun things that we can do inside. Raise your hand if you like to make a fort. Love making forts. You can stick chairs together and use blankets and crawl under tables and make it a lot of fun. So a fort is always a good idea. What about something just like turning on the radio or playing your favorite song and just dancing? I love dancing. Sometimes I dance so much I start to sweat. And remember, we talked about this in another lesson, but we want to drink lots of water because when we're sweating, we want to make sure we're drinking lots of water and listening to our bodies. We spent some time in our other lesson talking about moving. And one of the things that we focused on were stretches. So simple things like touching your toes or doing little arm circles. Those are great movements and they don't require any equipment or much space. So you can always do it inside when it's really, really chilly outside and you need something to do. Because stretching is so important and it helps us loosen our body up, I want to take some time to just do a couple stretches because it's really important. And I also want you to know that these are great ways that you could keep yourself active inside if you're not able to go outside. I have a picture here to the side and it looks like a few of my pictures show somebody doing stretches. So let's do the middle one where we just keep our feet together and we touch our toes. We're going to do this for a total of 10 seconds. I want you to use the tips of your fingers to get as close to your toes as possible. And if you need to bend your knees to be safer, then you could definitely do that. So we ready? Let's count to 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Ooh. We're going to stay standing, but it looks like the girl in the other picture is reaching for the sky. So let's keep our feet together and reach for the sky. Ooh, it feels so good. Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Nice job. Something else I really like to do is an invisible hula hoop. Who likes to use a hula hoop? It's so fun. We're gonna do little waist circles and pretend like we're in a hula hoop. All right, I love using my imagination. Let's do it for 10 seconds. Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Woo, love it. How about, I mentioned one of my other favorite activities are arm circles. We did this in our other lesson. We did an activity at the end and we did some arm circles. So let's try it again. If you have the space, stick your arms straight out like a capital T. And let's do little arm circles. We're going to do 5 circles forward and 5 circles backwards. We ready? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and backwards. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's get those little wiggles out and loosen our arms. How about one more? Let's do shoulder shrugs. Ready? Let's do 5 back and 5 forward. We ready? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Nice job. Other direction. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right, going to the next slide. Since we're on a roll today, moving and grooving, I thought we'd keep it going. So before we move on, I want you to know that it is important for us to get 60 minutes of exercise in a day. So it might sound like a lot, but I promise you, it goes so fast, especially when you do something that you really love. So find something that you enjoy and stick with it. It makes things that much more enjoyable. But remember, you can always spread out the 60 minutes, okay? You don't have to do it all at one time. You could do a few minutes before school. You could do a few minutes in the afternoon, just do like a brain break. And then you could also do some after school. Remember, an example that I used was walking my dog, and I do that every single night. So something like that and getting into the routine of something makes it really fun. So now that we talked about that, remember 60 minutes a day is so important, and we're going to contribute some minutes today. So we are going to get some of your 60 minutes in today so that you have a few knocked out before we're even done with our session together. This lesson is called Let's Move. We like to move, right? But we're going to do an activity called Check My Beat. So if you can stand up, find some space. We already might be standing up just from the other activity that we just did, but I want you to check your beat. So you can put your hand over your heart and you could try and feel your heart beating. You could put 2 fingers together and put it on your wrist to see if you can feel your heart beating. But it's probably not beating that hard because we're just kind of at rest right now, right? We're not doing a whole lot, so it might not be moving that fast or that hard, but I promise you it's beating. So let me just be silent for a second and I'll give you a chance to find it and feel it. Awesome. We're off to a great start. So now that we found our heartbeat and we know where it is and we feel it, let's get it beating a little faster. So we're going to start by just a short, quick movement. We're going to stay in place. So everything that we do, we're going to be standing in the spot that we're in right now. So we're not going to be running around, okay? We want to be safe. So let's start by just 10 seconds of walking in place. So we'll just do like a slow march. We're going to walk in place. We ready for 10 seconds? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Whew. We might be breathing a little bit harder than what we did before, but we're not probably exactly doing much to increase our heart rate. So let's bump it up. Are you ready to bump it up? Let's go. We are going to go a little bit faster than that walk we just did. We're going to do just a light jog. 10 seconds again. Are you ready? And go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Freeze. Whew. Okay. Find your heartbeat. Is it beating a little bit faster? Mine is. All right, friends, are we ready? One last step. So we did walking, we did jogging for 10 seconds each time. Now I want to run as fast as you can for 10 seconds. But remember, it's all in place. We're not running around. We need to be safe, and that's the number one thing right now. So make sure you stay in the spot you're standing in. 10 seconds, running as fast as we can. Can you do it? I have faith. I think you can. I'm ready. Are you? All right, let's go. 3, 2, 1, go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Freeze. Find your heartbeat. Let's go. I'll give you a second. It's probably beating really fast and really hard. I'm feeling good. How about you? Who wants some water? I do. This girl's feeling good. So, take a break. Breathe in through your nose, out through your mouth. Take your time. Relax. But I want you to know this is a great activity, right? It didn't take very long. We didn't need much space, and we didn't use any equipment. Do you agree? It's nice, and it feels good, and it makes me really happy because I'm spending time with you. So remember these activities when you need something to do. Even though these are great activities for inside, you could still do them outside. So keep that in mind. All right, so moving on, I want to share with you a yummy, healthy snack. It's a tasty treat, and it's really good for your body. So before I go to the next slide and show you what it is, I want to give you some hints and see if you can guess it. Are you ready? I'm going to give you, how about 3 hints, okay? We talked in one of the other lessons about My Plate and the 5 food groups. So when we think about the 5 food groups, one of the food groups is vegetable. And that is the food group that this healthy, yummy snack is in. So it is in the vegetable food group. My other hint is that it is green. It's like a lightish green color. So can you think about it? A yummy green vegetable. Some of you might already know, but I'm going to give you one more hint. You ready? It is very crunchy. Very crunchy, okay? And you just bite it, it's like a big crunch, and it's so loud and so tasty. Do you have an idea? All right, let's go to the next slide. Let's see. It is, I don't even know if it says it. Does it say it? My screen is kind of, there we go. It is celery. Okay, so it comes on a big stalk. You can see in the middle picture, they come all together, and you can just tear off different like sticks of celery. Make sure you wash your fruits and vegetables though. So we want to rinse these very, very good underwater. It looks like in this picture, they put it on a tray, and you can add it to like a plate with other yummy things like peanut butter. Who likes peanut butter? I do. You could take a celery stick and dip it in peanut butter. So yummy. As a matter of fact, some of you may have heard of this snack before, but I used to always eat it. Maybe I'll have one later. I kind of forgot about it, but now that we're talking about it, I might try it later. It is called ants on a log. So when you pull a piece of celery off the stalk, like right there, It has kind of like a little U shape. There's like a little divot in the center of the celery stick. You could spread peanut butter in the little divot, so you have a long stick with the peanut butter inside, and then you just drop little raisins all the way down the celery stick on the peanut butter. So it looks like ants on a log. It's super yummy, and the raisins add a little bit of sweetness, so it's a great, yummy snack or treat, okay? Before you see the celery at the grocery store, it might look like this. So it looks like a little plant, kind of, or just a little leafy green stem in a pot. So when you water it and you watch it grow, you could put it in a pot. Some of my friends might put it in a garden, but it'll grow, and when it's done, it'll look like what you see at the grocery store or the middle picture. So I encourage you to try it. It's really, really yummy, and it's one of my favorite vegetables. So go give it a try. So it looks like we're winding down on our lesson about exercise and physical activity. If you have any questions, feel free to write them in the question box, or you could ask a family member or an adult at home. I bet you they'd be a huge help if you had any questions for them. Last is some healthy homework. I want you to find somebody, friend, family, adult at home, cousin, grandparent, aunt, uncle, the list goes on. But I want you to find somebody that's really special to you, and I want you to take a few minutes and explain to them why being active and exercising is really, really important, why it's important to you. You could even share some exercises that you really enjoy doing, or a sport that you play. It's a great way to start a conversation on something that you love. All right, friends, that wraps up our third lesson together. It was so nice to see you, and I look forward to our fourth lesson together. So be safe, have fun, and eat those yummy fruits and vegetables because they're really, really important and they'll make you strong. Oh, and also, drink lots of water, okay? Have fun, take care of yourselves, and I'll see you really, really soon. Bye, friends.